Hi guys, my name is Trinity, and if you are here, you must be here to talk about books because that's why I'm here, to talk about some books. But today I'm going to be talking to you guys about some changes that are going to be coming on this channel. So this is going to be a bit of a chatty video, and I don't have a script because I don't do that. And I have ADHD, so let's see if we can keep this on track. But there are some things that I want to talk to you guys about because I have come to some realizations over the last month. A lot of it, if you guys follow my Twitter, and I recommend that you do because I'm very active on Twitter, you guys will know I have been dealing with some depression and anxiety and all that stuff. And it got me thinking about why I started my YouTube channel. And that is very much why we are having this discussion now. So a little bit about me, in case you guys don't know me very well. I have been a book blogger for about 7 years. Inconsistently so. I will point that out because I was very active in the beginning, wanted to read all of the books, really wanted to fully throw myself into it, invest in it, and made some really great friends via Twitter, made some friends with book bloggers, with authors, and really had a great time until I didn't. And it was solely my fault. But I found myself really questioning, am I the person who should be voicing my opinions on these books? Because I don't like these books. And it just boiled down to, I'm not a fan of the books that everybody else is a fan of. And I found myself getting really, really burnt out on all of the things that I was reading because I wasn't reading the things that I liked. And this was made very prevalent, obvious to me in the form of the Stormlight Archive. And I say this because I want to love the Stormlight Archive. I love Brandon Sanderson. I have a whole shelf of Sanderson. You guys have seen it. I love Brandon Sanderson. I liked Elantris. I love Mistborn. I even like Mistborn Era 2, even though it's not to my taste. So I really love Brandon Sanderson, but I started reading The Way of Kings. Didn't like it. I'm not going to say that the Stormlight Archive is a bad book or series at all. I don't think that. I just know that it's not the series for me. So coming back to why I started my channel and why I felt the need to create a channel for people like me, I'm a plot-driven reader. That is something that's not really found on Booktube very much. I know there's a few of us out there. I know that we are few and far between, but there's not a lot. And character-driven books are the epitome of epic fantasy. They are the ones everyone talks about. They are the ones that everyone wants to discuss. And I get that. I totally do. However, none of those books are to my taste. And when I say this, we are talking about Stormlight. We are talking about Malazan. We are talking about Lord of the Rings. Name the big five. We have them right here. There they are. I appreciate all of these books. I think that Sanderson alone has created a wonderful thing in the Cosmere. Does that mean all of the books are going to be for me? No, it doesn't. And I'm also one of those people who Just because you like an author does not mean you're going to like everything that author writes. So, some examples of this. Anthony Ryan. He has a detective noir series called Slab City Blues. I've not read it. I love Anthony Ryan. He is my favorite author. I've said this about a million times. That doesn't mean I'm going to go pick up Slab City Blues because it's not my taste. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Will I recommend it to someone who asks me about detective noir stories? Probably, because I will say, I love Anthony Ryan and he has this out. Maybe you should try it. I haven't read it myself, but I love Anthony Ryan's writing. So on that same note, John Gwynne. I love The Faithful and the Fallen. It is one of the best series in fantasy, I believe, but I didn't like The Shadow of the Gods. Why? Because it's a character-driven novel and that is not the type of reader that I am. And so I gave it a 3.5. I thought it was fine, but I'm not a character-driven reader, so it's not the book for me. Again, fine. But we have so many booktubers, so many blogs and all of this stuff wanting to discuss Malazan, wanting to discuss the Cosmere. That's great. I follow those people. So I have no qualms with anybody wanting to tout the big five in any way, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for those of you who maybe want something outside of the big five. And that has been my goal since I started this channel, and I've ventured away from it a little bit. I wanted to create this channel to show you guys that there are fantasy outside of the big five. I wanted to create this channel for plot-driven readers like myself. I wanted to create this channel to introduce people to books they might not have heard of. I'm a big Lawhead fan. This is all Lawhead up here. So if I can introduce people to Hood, which is one of my favorite series, if I can talk to people about Brent Weeks, who kind of lives in infamy as, you know, touting religion and sexism. Not that I agree with everything that Brent Weeks says, but you know, again, if you like Brent Weeks, I like Brent Weeks. If you like Brian Lee Durfee, I like Brian Lee Durfee. So basically just wanting to put content out there for readers who, again, are like me, like plot-driven books, that don't like the big five, that want something outside of what is generally produced on Booktube. Now, that being said, I am an avid reader of fantasy. That creates problems when you don't like the big five because that's where the big discussions lie. Okay, I think that's fine. But again, I wanted to create this channel for people who don't. So, I mean, if you like the big five, there's no reason you can't stay. I'm just saying that this is the stepping stool I want to use moving forward and talk about things like Anthony Ryan, maybe some David Dalglish, Naomi Novik, Giles Christian, you know, people that I really, really enjoy reading, and hoping that you guys find it and like the content and say, hey, this person is like me and there's not a lot of that around, so yay. All right, Editing Trinity here to say one of the other things that I feel like I bring to Booktube that is not always talked about. My Twitter followers know this about me, and I was actually even tagged in a question involving this very, very recently. yesterday, my time. But I read a lot of female authors. Used to in the past, and I'm saying 5-ish years ago, I wouldn't pick up a male author. And most people on my Twitter know this about me. They know that I favor female authors, but you guys might not know that about me because over the last 6 months that I have been on Booktube, I have a tendency to pick up male authors because I'm playing catch up with everything I've missed out on. But I do have a tendency to favor female authors, and that is apparent in my stats. That is apparent in my wrap-ups. I dig the females. So I am also going to be producing content that has female fantasy authors in it, female sci-fi authors. That is a thing that you will see on this channel. And I wanted to point that out. Back to the original content. Also, one of the things that I have tried to stop myself from doing is becoming a generic channel. And I've kind of fallen into the trap of generic content. And I don't think that was intentional or on purpose, but I couldn't find a way to make what I really wanted to do and put out there something that I could produce every week. And so this channel is a baby. It's young, and I have some ideas moving forward. One of my favorite booktubers is Megan, and I will link her channel down below, but I cannot not watch Megan's videos regardless of content because of how she produces the content. Now, in my Booktube career, even though it's not really a career because I can't monetize at this time, but even through my short journey with Booktube, I have found I like vlogs. And I've asked a few times on Twitter, like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? What do you want to see? Give me some ideas for content moving forward because I want to know what you guys want from me. That being said, I still want those recommendations. I still want to know what you guys want to see. But I do have a little bit of a plan moving forward. Now, I've already started on Twitter where I do polls, and I usually post 3 of them within a thread and say, pick between these 3 books, and I will read the 3 that you pick for my YouTube channel. I love that concept. I really love reading the books that you guys want to hear about. And while I plan to stick to content that you guys want to hear about, I also want to make sure that I'm staying true to what I set out to do in the beginning of this channel. So what you guys will start to see from me is a lot of vlogs and a little less TBRs. And the reason I say that is because I want to set up the vlogs kind of in the style of what Megan does, picking a topic, running with it, reading the books that go with that topic, and, you know, giving you guys more authors to see rather than what's popular right now. Does this mean that I'm going to stop reading new releases? Absolutely not. I am still one of those people who is eager to pick up that new release. So I have She Who Became the Sun. I'm very, very eager to read that. Does that mean that I'm going to stop reading adult fantasy? Absolutely not. It is still my favorite genre. What that does mean is that maybe one week you guys get historical fiction content from me. Maybe that means one week you get horror content from me. But that doesn't mean I'm going to step away from reading fantasy. That doesn't mean that I'm going to try and make myself a mystery channel because I don't read mysteries in the first place, but you know, I'm not stepping away from what you guys are used to me reading. And if you guys don't know, if you haven't been a part of this channel from the beginning, I'm an avid reader of fantasy, horror, sci-fi, and historical fiction. I do read more from other genres, but those are the 4 staples that I stick to. And I would like to, again, produce more content that I want to see on Booktube, if that makes sense. Things that I'm interested in, things that I want to read, things that I think people like me are looking for. So that being said, the channel changes that are to come, like I said, will be vlogs. I'm going to start doing vlogs of the books that I'm reading. 2, I'm going to start doing book reviews. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a difficult transition for me going from book blogging to vlogging my reviews because 1, I have ADHD and my thoughts don't always stay coherent when I'm speaking. And so it may take me some time to start producing the book reviews that you guys are wanting to see. And I'm also going to start doing series reviews. So say I read His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. I may not do a review of that book until I complete the trilogy, and then I can have the trilogy as a whole for review, if that makes sense. Also, I want to start doing like my top 10 sci-fi, my top 10 fantasy, and I'm gonna go ahead and do them even though I've held off for quite some time because I have a tendency to not finish series. But I want to go ahead and give those to you in case you are like me and are a plot-driven reader and really want to delve into what my favorite fantasies may be or sci-fi. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually record those videos today. So be on the lookout for that. But that way I am giving you guys the content that you want, letting you know that this is what I read, this is what I like, this is the reason to follow me. I may not like your favorite series. Guys, I respect everyone who loves the Big Five. I don't have any qualms with that. In fact, in the Shelf Space Discord, one of the people I talk to most, we could not have different tastes. His name is Andrew, and the one book we agree on is Project Hail Mary. So if that tells you anything, we agree on one book, and that is it. But I do want to make sure that I am producing content that you guys enjoy, but that I enjoy putting out. And like I said, there may not be any more TBRs. I might just do smaller TBRs. Like you guys will see possibly what I'm reading for new releases. You guys may see possible updates to series and things like that. But I'm not going to do the full TBRs that I have been doing over the last few months because I want some of it to be a surprise. I want the vlogs I want you guys to see it when the vlogs come out, if that makes sense. And then I will go back to the original wrap-ups that I used to do, where I talk about all of the books that I read in the month, the stats, all of that stuff. That way, what you guys were used to getting from my TBRs, you will now get in my wrap-ups. I will never stop doing book hauls. I did say that I get a little embarrassed about the amount of books that I buy, but I've explained it a million times why I buy so many books. And if you guys are interested, since this is me discussing why my channel is the way it is and what we're doing moving forward, I am a big supporter of the buy-sell trade, and I utilize it a lot. Do I shop at Barnes & Noble? Yeah, sometimes. Do I shop at Books A Million? Sometimes. I shop sales though. I generally don't pick up new releases from those places. But when I don't like a book, when it's low rated, when it's a DNF, I get rid of it. I take it to the buy, sell, trade and trade it in for something I will enjoy. What that means is I end up with a lot of trade credit. And trade credit gets me the books that I want without me actually having to shell out a lot more money. So I'm going to show you guys a haul, possibly, it's going to be this week. But I'm going to show you guys a haul in which half of it was Amazon purchases, and those are cheaper than buying at the bookstore. And then I'm going to show you guys the other half of the haul is buy, sell, trade, in which I paid $30 for those books. And you'll see the ungodly amount of books that I bought for $30. But hauls won't stop. None of that will stop. I will continue to do tag videos. I enjoy them. I hope you guys enjoy them. But I wanted you guys to know where the channel is going, what my plans are for the future. Again, I want to introduce people to new authors. I want to let people know that there are books outside the big five that are really great. I want to talk more about Self-Pub, Voice of War. You guys know I loved it so much by Zach Argyle. But that's basically what I wanted to discuss today. I wanted to let you guys know where the channel is going. Wanted you guys to know why I created this channel. And if you're new to this channel, stick around. Things are changing, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Things are going to look different moving forward. That's okay. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!